Welcome back. Let's put this in the ether. People often fails you, right? So don't have high expectation in others. Only high expectation in yourself, right? You can't depend on other people, right? You can't expect people to do something that you would like. You know the old phrases. You have something done, you have to do it yourself. Exactly. So people often fail you. Like you have to be really diligent of who you hired, who you affiliate yourself with, who you do trust. Sometimes you can't trust anybody in this world right now, right? Sometimes you have to trust yourself. So that's why I'm making all this video telling guys, sometimes you have to put your best foot forward, not let somebody else put your foot for you, right? Your best foot forward. You have to do it yourself. Pick yourself up by the bootstrap. This old phrases that people like to use because there is some truth into it. You have to rely on yourself. Don't rely on other people, right? Because people have to worry about themselves too. People have their own life to live. People have their own problem to worry about. They can't be worrying on other people's problems, right? So you have to fight hard, dig yourself out of the mud, and put yourself in the better positions. Be strategic with your choices in life. Right? Your time is very important. Your time and effort should be applied to something that truly matters to you, something that truly that becomes fruitful to you. Right? If you play most of your time, waste your time on video games, nothing can come out of it. But mainly your experience, skills on your video games. That's probably it. All right? But that you can't use that to apply to real life. All right? You want to use your time wisely. Use it on something that you can apply into real life, like social skills, reading and writing, right? So you can be a more effective communicator, a more effective listener, right? Be a content creator or whatever, right? The more you do, the more easier for you to talk. At first time when I started this, it's hard for me to talk to a camera, but the more I do it, right? The more I do it, the more confident it is, the more I'm comfortable with looking at a camera lens and just start talking. At first, I don't have nothing to say in front of the camera, right? Now I'm adapted to this situations. Now I'm trying to produce more content as much as possible because I feel comfortable talking to a camera now, right? And you can become more confident. You can not care what you can say. You can understand that, of course, if people are going to stutter, nobody's perfect. People are going to mumble in their words, nobody's perfect. People are going to have blemish, right? People are going to have all these imperfections. But the idea, you have to understand and accept that you are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. When you accept that for yourself, you become more confident in yourself, right? You want to use your time wisely. That's another aspect I want to tell you about it. Use your time wisely. Because you can't, people often fails you, all right? But when people fails you, you have to learn from that you can't depend on people, right? And if you fail in life, you have to learn that and learn from experiences so you won't fail again, all right? So don't have that much high expectation. Not only that, people have the capability of betraying you, right? There's a lot of examples where people being betrayed all the times, right? Family members betray each other's, right? You can't elude this fact that this is real life. Right? Sure, we all want to live in a big fairy tale. We all want to live in a fantasy. We all wanted that brother we could trust on. But not everybody comes from that background. Not everybody comes from that upbringing. Right? Not everybody have that kind of mindset. Right? We want to do that. We want that people have that kind of mindset. But you know what? You live in the reality right now. People have demons in them, right? People are fighting with their internal demons as well. You got to understand that people aren't perfect. They're fighting themselves as well. Right? You can't expect a lot from people. All right, people will do wrong to you given the chances and capability. Right? Why do you think we have crimes? Why do you think you have criminals out there? Right? You can't rely on these people. People are easily corrupt. Right? People are easily corrupt. People, when given free will to do anything, they will do it. Right? You tell people not to touch it. What are they going to touch it? Don't touch a hot stove, Timmy. Well, he's going to touch it. Don't be mad, Timmy. You can't tell people what to do. Right? That's why if you can't tell people what to do, and you have to understand that people will fail you. Right? When you try to control people, people will fail you. Right? When you try to control your wife, right? Your wife will fail you, and that's gonna lead to another strife in the relationship, and then it's gonna lead to a failed marriages. Right? So, people will fail you. Your kids gonna fail you. You have kids, right? Kids are not perfect. You can only pray for the best that they will listen to you and take your advice and take your guidance. That's what the father is for, is to provide guidance, a direction. You can't force a kid to do it, right? That's up to their own will, free will. That's why God gave us this ability, right? Because God gave us this ability, God gave every individual this ability of free will. You're gonna have to expect that sometimes they're gonna fail you, right? So don't have high expectation of people. If it fails, all right, we have to pray for the best. Expect the best, that they learn from their failure. That's why I keep preaching or saying this idea that if you fail, you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from your failure. Failure are lessons in life, right? Try not to do it again. Pick yourself back up and do it again. Like in business, right? A business fail, like a person with a strong business ethics, right? A strong business ethic, they will fail a lot of businesses, right? But they can keep pursuing it. One day, sooner or later, they can have one business that actually succeeds, and they can stick with it, right? You can't have a perfect business all the time. A lot of businesses fail all the time. But these people who have a business mindset, a winning mindset, they can keep pursuing. That's why this whole phrase is never give up, right? Once you give up, then you give up on yourself. When you give up, you give up the potential of having a successful business, right? You have to do it yourself. Self-reliance. I like to preach on and advocating this thing about self-reliance. You gotta rely on yourself. When things hit the fan, when the crap hit the fan, right? You can't rely on yourself. When all this havoc and chaos, anarchy happen, you can't expect people to go. But when looting happen, every man for themselves. It's a dog eat dog world out there. Right? Every man's for themselves. You could be shot, stabbed, whatever. Right? When you see danger, turn the opposite way. Put yourself in a better position first. When you're in a better position, then you can help other people. Right? Then you can help other people. That's why you have to rely on yourself. Right? It's not about selfishness. Sometimes you have to be selfish in order to survive. Survive. Excuse me. Right? And people like to put this bad thing. Oh, he's just selfish. You know what? Put your house in order first, right? Clean your house before you clean other people's house, right? You gotta put yourself in a better position in life before you can help other people, right? So basically, don't have high expectation of people. People are gonna fail you. People are gonna disappoint you, and that's the process of life. Don't expect your girlfriend will be so truthful with you. Sometimes they might lie. You think your relationship is a rock, right? That nothing can destroy it. But people are human, right? There's a lot of relationship out there where men believe, they like to live in this fantasy that their relationship will never fall down. The relationship are inseparable, but you don't know. You really don't know about it. You just can't say that. You have to hope for the best. Hope your partner will not disappoint you. Right? But expect the worst from your partner. They could betray you as your friend. Your friend could betray you. I'm not saying don't trust your friend, don't trust your partner, but don't have too much trust on them, because they might stab you in the back as well. You gotta be vigilant. You gotta be wary. You gotta be on A game, right? You must not have a lot of hope for them. Right? There's a lot of guys who live in a delusional world. They're not living in reality right now. Right? The only people you trust is God. That's it. The only person you can trust is God. But when it comes to people are flawed creatures. They could be immoral. They could be dishonest. That's part of people traits. That's some of the demons they have to get rid of. Right? Those are some of those evil characteristics. Those are the devil characteristic in people. And people, either they accept it and realize it and change the way, or they don't. Whatever they're man, female, whatever. Alright? That's their problem. Right? Because they have this problem, don't have that much expectation for them. Because they will fail you. You have to rely on yourself. Right? Of course we want all these fantasies to happen, all these perfect things. But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a imperfect world. Right? And you must be content and accept the world for what it is, and not live in the fantasy that's being fed to you by the media constantly, saying this, that, and that. This fake premise teaching you by false prophets, false preachers, the church, that you go to a church that's built by the hand of man and not by God, right? And you got to see things in a different perspective. Use two-sided brain, not use one-sided brain. You have to see stuff underlying the under meaning of things, not seeing what's the literal meaning, right? The literal view of things. You have to see the underlining of it as well. All right. Unfortunately, the underlining is that people will fail you. All right. You have to understand that, accept that as a fact. But I don't know if I've missed something. Leave your comment below. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, peace and blessings.